How is she? Not good. Things are getting risky. If this gets out, we'll be in trouble. Taking a last look at her, laying on the ground, Dan tightened the shackles once more and locked the room. Seeing Alex pace in the hallway, he could sense something wasn't right. Did you find someone who can help? Here's his card. Warren Lecter. Claims he's been doing this for years. He's healed people before. We can't take chances, Alex. This is about her life. It's about our life. Are you sure he's gonna believe Emily is possessed? I spoke to some people. The man seems legitimate, but what? He wants $2,000. I can't afford that right now. We don't have a choice. We can't keep her like this. But where are we supposed to get the money? We have to manage. Either we spend $2,000 or time behind bars. You were too much that night, Alex. Hearing the bell ring, Alex quickly paced down the hall. That's probably him. I'll go check. You go see if she's set up properly. Alex anxiously peered through the hole. Since they had locked up Emily, they hadn't allowed anyone in. He hoped this wouldn't get them caught up in something worse. Outside stood a man, in his hands a briefcase. Alex couldn't make out his face, but with a deep breath, he opened the door. Hello, Warren Lecter. I was called for business. Come in. As Alex escorted Warren in, they both heard a loud noise from down the hall. What was that? It's her. She's been unwell for a few weeks. We tried everything, but she's irresponsive. It's like she's been overcome with something else. She hasn't slept in days. Her body has emaciated. She's in a horrible condition. Yes. This is how it usually starts. The more the entity overtakes the body, the soul becomes weak, incapable of fighting off its dark presence. Listening to them speak, Dan stepped out. Hello, I'm Daniel. Warren Lecter. Yes, Alex has told me about you. Emily is our friend, or at least, she used to be. Where is she? I'd like to see her. Wait, before you go, we should warn you. It's not safe. When it overcomes her, she loses her senses. She goes rogue. We thought we could stop her, but we were wrong. Dan lifted his sleeve. The long wound along his arm still hadn't healed. You need not worry. I've dealt with situations like this before. I've faced evil many times. Dan and Alex took Warren to the room where Emily had been locked up for the past weeks. When Warren walked in, however, he felt a little nervous at the first sight of the young woman. She was cowering to the corner, her hands and feet shackled, bruises all over her body. But what disturbed Warren was the haunting stares in her eyes, no expression on her face. Sensing Warren's discomfort and shock, Alex nervously said, We had to do this. She's uncontrollable. She'll not only harm others, but she'll harm herself. I understand. Warren put down his briefcase and took out a white sheet of cloth and covered Emily. He then stooped down next to her and took out a vial of clear liquid from his pocket and threw it over her. Demon, I command you to leave this innocent soul. But Emily leaned on the wall without a word, without a movement, as if she didn't hear, she didn't feel. You wicked presence, I call thee to return to thy realm and let these people be. All of a sudden, Emily started to scream. Her body shook violently as she fell to the floor and scampered. Dan and Alex came forward, but Warren stopped them. "Stay back. It's not her. It's the demon within her. It's leaving her body. You have no right over her soul. Leave her alone, you wicked demon." It was a long minute of pure anxiety, watching Emily scream in pain, her body ringing on the floor, her hands clawing into the wood, until she finally stopped. Warren quickly pulled down the cloth. "She should heal soon, and if not, we'll have to try another day. I can't surpass the limits. This earthly body, it is just a vessel. It can only endure a certain extent, but the demon that possesses it can be hard to break." "Is she okay?" Dan stooped down near Emily. Her eyes were spinning. Her breath was heavy. She looked dazed. "Could both of you allow me some privacy? I'd like to bless her soul with prayers." Alex pulled Dan out of the room and impatiently waited for Warren. "How long is it taking him? What is he doing in there?" "I don't know, and I don't care, as long as he fixes her. But we can't let him stay alone for too long either." As soon as Dan and Alex stepped out, Warren took off the wire he had attached to Emily's foot when he covered her with the sheet and unplugged the taser from under his sleeve. Warren was no exorcist, nor did he believe in the supernatural. But this was easy money, and he needed it. All he did was tase Emily with high voltage. The results usually deceived customers. Now if he could get that $2,000 and leave before they'd catch him, this would be another successful con. As he packed everything in the briefcase, he peered at Emily. Her lifeless eyes stared at him. Her lips trembled as she held out her hand, trying to say something. Please." Warren couldn't look her in the eyes after what he had done. "Everything will be okay," he said, getting up to leave. "No, please, don't leave me here. Don't believe them. They've trapped me. I've been locked up in this room for days. I can't tell you the things they've done to me. Please save me. Nothing is wrong with me." Warren suddenly stood still to the young woman's plea. What was going on here? Usually his customers were mentally compromised or ill, incapable of speech, and presumed to be possessed. But this young woman spoke fluently. She seemed normal. What was going on here? How did this happen to you? "We used to go to the same university, but I didn't know Dan and Alex until the night of the party. I drank too much and I wasn't in my senses when Dan brought me here to this apartment. Alex is his friend, and they aren't good people. After they brought me here, they started playing some sort of sick game, pushing me around. I wanted to go home, but they wouldn't allow me. They gave one excuse after the other, and I wasn't in the state to react or walk out. And then they held me down and shackled me here. I can't speak of what they've done to me in these last weeks, but these bruises say enough. They think if they prove me possessed or insane, they would get away with everything. Please help me. Please help me escape from here. Don't leave me like this." Warren was shocked to learn the truth, but he didn't know what to do. He had to help this girl, but how? He didn't have much time. In a hurry, he took out his pocket knife and picked the lock on the shackles. His heart raced as every second passed, but fortunately, he was able to free her. "Will you be able to walk?" "Yes," Emily said as she struggled to get up. But it was just then they heard the door open, and Alex and Dan stepped inside. Warren immediately handed Emily the knife. "Don't be afraid. Defend yourself." Seeing Emily unlocked, however, Dan and Alex fell into a rage. "What did you do?" "Leave him, Alex. Help me hold her down." Dan ran towards Emily. Just when Warren came in the way, Stop. Don't go near her. You men are sick. Don't you feel shame taking advantage of women like this? What? Take advantage? You've been exposed. She's told me everything. Dan and Alex looked at each other as they broke out into a cold sweat. Dan, it's not her speaking. We have to tie her down right now. As Alex wrestled with Warren, Dan ran to grab hold of Emily. But in seconds, she lunged the knife into him and twisted it. As Warren threw Alex down, Emily yelled out, "You can't stop me now," and she pierced the knife into Alex. Alex crawled back with multiple fatal injuries over his body until he fell to the ground. Staring at Dan and Alex lay on the floor in a pool of red, Warren stood in shock and fright. What had just happened? Emily fell weak to her knees with the knife in her hands and started trembling. "Come on, let's go. We have to get out of here. There's a police station nearby," Warren said as he went to help Emily up. But he froze upon hearing a faint chuckle come from the young woman. Warren stepped back as Emily suddenly started to laugh. A laugh so menacing, it made his blood run cold. Warren stared in horror as Emily's body began to twist and turn, her bones dislocating as she straightened her posture. He looked into those eyes that had been so innocent, so helpless before. Now nothing but a devilish glare remained. What is happening? All of a sudden, Emily began to raise. Her feet lifted off the ground as she hovered in the air. Warren could no longer deny everything he had disbelieved. This was something otherworldly. This was surely demonic. They were fools, but you, my dear, you are the cunning one. Deception, deception. Two can play at that game. Can't we, Exorcist? You're a liar, a deceiver, a demon of this world. Weak and fragile, but I am the queen of all darkness. Manipulation is my power. Emily is gone, and now no man can get in my way. It was a strange, rainy autumn night. Dan, Alex, and Emily, 3 roommates, were returning home from a college party they had been invited to, or rather, invited themselves to. It was hosted on the beachside after sunset by an odd clique of students that believed in the supernatural, the spiritual realm, hearing of spooky Ouija board games, unusual rituals by the bonfire, and mystical chants to summon the lords of the underworld. The friends were intrigued enough to check it out. In the misty rain throughout the night, Dan, Alex, and Emily enjoyed a good thrill, drinking and trying out crazy things, more than believing in any of the nonsense that was actually going on. Around 12 a.m., they called it a night and headed home, all a bit tipsy. Hey, check this out. I learned this freaky thing from those creeps. What? Half-mindedly, Alex moved all the furniture and drew a symbol on the floor. Come on, help me. We need to light up candles, turn off the lights. Are we gonna speak to the spirits or something? Hey, this isn't that bad. You drew it perfect. Yeah, it's actually better than theirs. Kudos to being an art student. The friends stood around the symbol as Alex started chanting. Are you sure you're saying it right? Shh, they were chanting this. Yeah, sounds pretty legit, man. Loudly chanting out the ritual, the friends laughed out, holding their stomachs. Just until something strange happened. Emily fell to the floor, holding her chest. She began to cough as something black dripped from her lips. Emily? Emily, are you all right? Emily? What's happening to her? Who has summoned the Queen of Darkness? That night, Dan and Alex managed to tame Emily's body, trapping her in the room and tying her down. And in the process, they subdued the demoness that had descended onto her. But Warren? Had he fallen victim to his own deception? If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.